Prestige Buzz dives deep into the soul of the Smoky Mountains and the glitz of Graceland to uncover a story of two lives that nearly merged into one legendary recording. The narrative begins in a one-room cabin tucked away in the Tennessee hills, where a young Dolly Parton, one of 12 children, learned that music was not just entertainment, but a survival mechanism. While her mother sang ancient Appalachian ballads of loss and faith, Dolly found a different kind of hope vibrating through the airwaves of her battery-operated radio. That hope was the voice of Elvis Presley. To the young girl in the mountains, Elvis represented a radical possibility. He was the proof that a Southerner born into hardship could command the attention of the entire world. Prestige Buzz highlights that for Dolly, Elvis was a silent guide whose command of the stage she practiced in the solitude of the woods, imagining the rustle of leaves was the thunderous applause of a global audience. By the late 1960s, Dolly's stubborn belief had carried her to Nashville, where she became the duet partner of the formidable Porter Wagoner. This era was her trial by fire, a time when she had to win over a skeptical national audience while fighting for her own creative identity. When the time came to leave Wagoner's shadow in 1973, she didn't choose a legal battle, she chose a song. I Will Always Love You was her graceful exit, a masterpiece of emotional truth that proved she was no longer just a featured performer, but a generational storyteller. As the song climbed the charts in 1974, it caught the ear of the king himself. Prestige Buzz explores the sheer electric shock Dolly felt when she learned Elvis wanted to record her song. It was the ultimate validation, a full-circle moment where the idol of her childhood was finally reaching back to her. But as the negotiations began, the dream hit the cold reality of the music business in the form of Colonel Tom Parker. The demand was brutal. Dolly had to surrender 50% of the publishing rights to the song just for the privilege of Elvis singing it. This was the Elvis tax, a price almost every songwriter paid without question for the guaranteed millions a Presley record would generate. But Dolly Parton was different. Prestige Buzz captures the agony of that decision. Dolly went home and cried through the night, torn between the girl who worshipped a hero and the woman who owned a business. In an act of courage that is still studied in the industry today, she chose her future over her fantasy. She refused the king. While it meant she would never hear Elvis's legendary baritone breathe life into her lyrics, it ensured that she remained the sole architect of her destiny. This decision didn't just protect a song, it built an empire, eventually allowing the track to reach Whitney Houston and become one of the most successful recordings in human history. Now at 79, Dolly Parton reflects on that missed connection with a mixture of gratitude and gentle wonder. Prestige Buzz notes that she speaks of Elvis today with a quiet melancholy, often wondering how his specific brand of loneliness and emotional depth would have transformed her words. She acknowledges that by 1977, the weight of the crown had grown heavy for Elvis, as he struggled with the impossible demands of his fame and the health issues that eventually led to his tragic passing at age 42. Despite the decades that have passed, the bond between them remains a living truth in her heart. She views the no she gave him not as a rejection of the man, but as a preservation of the art. Through the lens of Prestige Buzz, we see that Dolly Parton and Elvis Presley are two sides of the same American coin, one who was eventually consumed by the pressure of being a legend, and one who used her quiet wisdom and unseen strength to ensure she would always be the master of her own story. If you found this epic story of artistic integrity and the legendary missed connection between Dolly and Elvis inspiring, make sure to engage with us. Like this video to celebrate Dolly Parton's incredible business savvy and courage. Subscribe to Prestige Buzz for more feature-length biographies and the hidden truths behind entertainment's biggest icons. Click the bell notification icon so you never miss a deep dive into the legends who defined our culture.